Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Horizons. I'm Laura Meyer, founder and CEO of Envision Horizons, and I am here today with the wonderful Cathy O'Brien. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for inviting me.
And Cathy, you have a podcast of your own.
I do.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. My podcast is called Inside The Wellspace, and it is derived from a space called the Wellspace for Women, which I created as a place and a space and a community for women to go to that is safe and smart, and it provides information and explanations of data-driven health and wellness information for women, basically. So it is about women, about our bodies, about the things we need to know about, salient, bite-sized, and achievable and doable.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what I love that you're doing is it's not the woo-woo.
No.
It's the science,
Yes.
it's the facts.
Correct.
And it's also very cutting edge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it sure is.
And we need to be talking about a lot of what is helping women and not just the male physiology
Correct.
and wellness.
Well, yes, and I don't know if everybody's aware of the fact that much, if not most, of the data that exists, medical data that exists for us on our bodies, has been done in men over the years. Yes, that's slowly changing, and people like Melinda Gates are donating hundreds of millions of dollars towards specifically research on the female body. It's so important for us. So we all need to collectively share, relevant to your point, up-to-date data on our bodies. On Inside the Wellspace, I had, for example, a divorce lawyer who just gives everybody a heads up on the things we need to be thinking about should this ever happen to us, and stats are, 50-50. I have a financial planner who's talking about how do we plan to build wealth as opposed to just put money in a savings account. That's really important as we go along. We need to build wealth for ourselves, and we're not necessarily taught how to do that. I have another woman, it's airing next week, actually, lovely woman who talks about something called gray area drinking for women. And that's something that moms often fall into, and women fall into, because we're busy people. We're working, we're in relationships or not, we are raising children or not. We're constantly going, and a couple of glasses of wine at night becomes habitual.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's a problem, but it becomes a habit. So she talks about that. So Inside the Wellspace not only talks about the gut microbiome and the importance of that, but it also talks about these very real, tactile, tangible things that many/most of us just fall into because we are never stopping. So that's what we talk about.
Well, I always like to start my podcast with a fun game.
Oh, good.
And given your wellness space, so we're going to play a game called Real or Ridiculous.
All right.
And we're going to throw out some crazy wellness and beauty treatments.
Okay.
And it's on you to identify if it's real or ridiculous.
Oh, for goodness sake! I'm gonna do my best. We shall see. No promises.
Maybe, I'll be curious if you've tried any of the real ones. We'll see.
All right, let's go.
All right, so a snail slime rejuvenation facial.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's real. Yeah.
That's a thing. It just sounds disgusting, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, you can buy it on Amazon, in fact.
So here's my visual of
snail
snails.
mutation.
When I was a kid, we had vegetable garden, and my sister and I had to go and weed the vegetable garden. That was one of our chores, many chores. And at night, there were slugs that are like snails without shells. They were disgusting, and I had to go deal with them. So I can't. I could never.
Can't. You can't get on that.
No, sir.
All right, a moon dust chakra polish.
Oh, yeah.
A full body exfoliation using charged lunar dust.
Yeah.
That aligns with chakras and softens the skin. Real or ridiculous?
Totally real. Is it ridiculous?
It is real. Oh wait, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but it
sounds
sounds
ridiculous
like something that
because
people would buy.
Well, because the whole moon dust thing is like a thing that is talked about.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if you heard it here first. Someone's going to do it.
Okay, how about a cryo lip freeze sculpt? A lip treatment where cold air is blasted onto the lips as a replacement for lip filler.
You know what? It's, again, while it sounds crazy, it could definitely be real because there's a lot of cryo stuff going on right now. I don't know. You tell me.
It's real?
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I've never done it. I've tried lip filler, which is like it hurts and I don't really like it.
Do you spill drinks?
Yeah, I tried to use a straw and it didn't work. And I only got a teeny beeny little bit because I do like to try stuff. And as we age, women, we literally lose our lips, which is kind of a bummer. So that exacerbates the aging process, along with the lines and wrinkles that we just naturally get here because we lose a collagen, and our skin starts to sag. I mean, this is just real stuff. It's not, a criticism. So anyhow, I did try it. I didn't love it. Hurt. So the cryo thing, yeah, sure, give it a try. Why not? Because it's probably less painful.
I mean, hopefully you still have feeling in your lip.
You do, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, but that is actually, you know what? I would try that.
Yeah.
I would try it, sure. Why not? Just to see.
I mean, people do full body cryotherapy.
We do, don't we? I've never done that, but people do and like it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I have not.
Okay. Would you do the cryo lip thing?
Maybe. I still haven't really gone down the Medi Spa wormhole.
Yeah, but you don't need to yet.
Because I've done laser facials.
Okay. Like Fraxel?
No, not that intense.
That's
more light. Because I had melasma and such after my pregnancies,
Yep.
and trying to work through some of those items.
Yep.
But
That's smart.
and then Botox.
Of course, the Botox.
The Botox.
Well, I got a little, speaking of lips, I did a little bit yesterday just because, like a little bit around here, teeny little bit around here, because as you get older, ladies, as you get older, you get it, and I didn't want the whole thingy, the whole lip filler thing. So I did it. So
The
just
lip
to
flip?
soften it.
Right?
No, I did not do a
No.
lip flip.
Okay.
I don't really want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do it. But the Botox, yes. The Botox
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. A caviar scalp infusion treatment. A nourishing scalp treatment where caviar extract is massaged into the roots to boost, shine, and strengthen your hair.
The hair roots, interesting and fascinating. I am not a hair person, to be honest with you. Like, I've never indulged in, I don't even own a blow dryer, although I did get a blowout. Someone else. So I've not really endeavored personally into the hair world, and I don't really follow it so much. It wouldn't surprise me.
It's real.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's
expensive, but
it's
real.
not something I would do. I would eat it, but I would not. I wouldn't spend money on that personally.
What do you like your caviar on?
I like it on the little, what are they called?
The little like pancake things.
Pancake things, yeah, with creme fraiche.
Classic.
Caviar, and then I like a little egg white and a little, what are they called? Oh my gosh, I'm losing my brain. The green yummy things.
Oh, chives.
No.
No?
I cook with them all the time.
Green onion?
Nope.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. And champagne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Too early right now, but I love that. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think it's even good on soft boiled eggs.
Yes. Oh, that's yummy. Thank you.
I can eat dairy, but my husband can't, so I always look for non-dairy options.
Oh, that's thoughtful of you.
That's one way.
I have a gluten-free child, so that was always my thing too in my house. I always had gluten-free breads and pastas and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you find
options.
interesting substitutes.
Totally.
All right. How about a jellyfish DNA anti-aging wrap?
Wait, that sounds so funny. Let me just say it for my own brain
A
space.
body wrap that claims to use jellyfish DNA to slow down cellular aging and brighten your skin.
I can't even think that's real because it just sounds too much. I don't know. It sounds
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, right? Like, I feel like somebody was like, let's go crazy with this one.
Yeah.
That just sounds ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. Nope.
No,
No.
it doesn't exist.
No. Okay,
but maybe
good.
one day.
I don't know. The other one that sounded ridiculous sounds to me like it could be a thing. This one to me sounds like someone's got a lot of time on their hands and maybe has smoked way too much pot.
Or, some other psychedelics.
Some other psychedelics. There you go. That makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So I want to turn it back to you and your journey to leadership.
Great.
So you're currently the CEO of Naturopathica.
I am the chairman of Naturopathica.
Oh, you're the chairman.
I
Did
am
that
the chairman of
change?
Naturopathica. It
Is that an
changed
update?
after my cancer
Okay.
situation because I just knew that operationally we needed a COO.
Yeah.
Because when you, as you very well know, run a company, it is just relentless. And I also had other thoughts on my mind around building the well space for women. What I realized when I got sick is life is short.
Yeah.
And when you have a wake-up call, you got to grab it. And for Naturopathica, for me, you know, I see that. I see it. I know it. I feel it. I'm the brand guide and leader to make sure that the brand stays the brand. And operations is a completely different animal, as you know, as you well know. Operations is supply chain. Operations is making the trains run on time. Operations is putting systems in place. Operations is making your suppliers are delivering on time, that trucks are on time, that systems are up and running, that the financial, you know, new ERP that we got is technically operating, you know, so we needed that. And thank heavens we found a wonderful person who is great at that. He has a consultant background, so he comes from like Bain. Yeah. So someone with that perspective can do that. So Naturopathica, you know, needs to be alive and breathing, and that's what I do, you know, and I do it really well. So I am the chairman of Naturopathica, and it is my job to make sure that the brand is the brand, you know, because we talked briefly about this before too. Whenever you have somebody else come into a brand that was founded on a premise and a being, which Naturopathica is, anytime someone else steps in, they try and tweak it.
Put their flavor on it.
Right,
Yeah.
and you can't do that. You can come in and channel the brand. You can come in and make sure that the brand is current, like what we said before about what's going on currently in the world of health and wellness. Right. But you can't put your mark on it because it's not yours. It's your conduit, you know, and you're not going to be there forever. You have to make sure the brand stays who it is and what it is. And, you know, Naturopathica was founded by somebody who was visionary. And that's what founders are. You're that. I'm getting goosebumps right now. You're that. No, you're creating something really special. And you're like, you can see it, you're doing it, and you know that. She had a vision 30 years ago of a space, and it was called a Healing Arts Center.
Wow.
And she founded it in East Hampton when East Hampton wasn't shiny. East Hampton was an artist colony on the beach where people came and they got yoga and they got breath work and they got Reiki and they got sound bathing. That was 30 years ago. No one even knew what those things were. She did.
Yeah.
And
30 years ago, people were learning about yoga and sushi.
Thank you. Right? Like
and
Benihana.
And what an avocado was.
Right. Exactly. Matsuhisa was just like a teeny hole in the wall in LA. And now it's, you know, Nobu.
Right.
So that was 30 years ago when I was in LA. That's what that was. It was like a nothing. But she also believed in and grew up and was steeped in herbal, botanical, health and wellness and remedies. So Naturopathica was a place you could go and get that. You would walk in, there was this huge counter of just tinctures and ingredients in jars where you could say, you know what, I have a stomach ache, I have a headache, I can't sleep. Like my back is hurting. And somebody, a mixologist, he was called an herbologist. He would mix you a tincture that you put under your tongue, and simultaneously Barbara Close, who is this founder and fabulous genius, was an esthetician and a certified massage therapist, and would give these wonderful treatments and had people who were trained in her image and likeness to do the exact, with this coming to you with this healing power of touch, sensibility. That's what it is. And she would make skincare out of these ingredients that she knew were healing. So like calendula, for example, which is still the number one, it's amazing, by the way. It's a cream that is an anti-inflammatory. She made it because her mom was going through chemotherapy. She also made something called Manuka honey, cleansing balm, which is also like a healing agent. She made something called carrot seed oil. I mean, she went on and on and on and continued. And then that grew because people who were in the know and got it heard about it and said, can you come teach your protocols to me? So it just was like this organic growth thing. She made it as an apothecary. All the bottles were blue. It was very simple. The pictures were of the ingredients. The pictures were of the mixing. Like that's what it is. So then when other people come in and say, no, it needs to be cutting edge. It needs to be this. It needs to be, all of a sudden, it's like a needle on a record going off, you know, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't feel right. That's not right, you know? So the gentlemen who are the private equity team that ended up acquiring Naturopathica from the founder, when it sort of felt like it went off track a little bit, they brought me in because I knew them from my experience at Estee Lauder when they were the group that did the financing around acquiring Joe Malone. So I was there at Estee Lauder, and then I ended up running Joe Malone. So I knew them and building Joe Malone, who again is another phenomenal founder.
Right.
That's how we met each other. And they called me and said, Cathy, can you just come and like put this back on track, you know? And
bring the identity
just
back.
bring the identity back, right? And make it come alive.
Do you think that's why a lot of acquisitions don't play out well?
Yes.
Especially when you look at the big conglomerates.
Yes.
The brands lose their identity, the founder leaves.
Yes. Yes. And if you don't have somebody, yes, 100% yes. And it breaks my heart.
So how does a business have longevity without a founder? How do you find the right person then to continue the legacy?
You know, the thing, that's exactly it right there is the thing, and I've had conversations with the gentleman about this, is that, you know, it's a hard balance to strike, because obviously when a company gets acquired, the idea is to scale. Right? And when a company gets acquired, scale and grow in a positive way, I say, because you're obviously interested in acquiring a company because it's got something special, and because Naturopathica is a wellness company, which is what attracted me, because that's my North Star, is like, how are we going to get this to people? How are we going to expand on it and grow it so people can actually experience it and become more healthy and more empowered? So what you need when you have a philosophy around whatever the founder did is time. And oftentimes when a company is acquired, the operations are not very sound,
right?
You know, because when you've got a creative person, it's not necessarily a right brain, left brain thing.
It's chaos.
It's chaotic. So you need to make it operationally sound. So fortunately, unfortunately, you know, there's an infusion of cash, a company gets the money, and then they it's really, you know, you gotta have the right leadership combination there with sound operations. So operations you can find. Leadership is hard to find. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Leadership and vision is not a dime a dozen, nor is great operations. So I don't want to say that. But if you let go of a vision for simply having efficient operations, you will not have a lifelong brand. You just won't. Go through the history, look at it, and see what happens. I could name a few right now, which I'm not going to, obviously. But, like, you know.
We'll bleep it out.
We're going to bleep it out. No, so to answer your question, it's tricky, and you need really, really smart, savvy finance people, acquirers, to come in and say, okay, I'm going to give this 10 years maybe, 10 years, and know that I need two things. I need the leader to understand and channel the vision, and underneath that leader, I need an operations person who can run the ops.
It's very similar to the EOS system.
Tell me.
Where it stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Right.
It's very popular in EO and other entrepreneurial groups, where you have the visionary and then you have the integrator.
Correct.
And that sounds very in line with what you're explaining.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You got to get the ideas across the finish line.
You really do. And you just can't do both.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Now, I want to go back to even your own personal journey.
Sure.
So you learned you had cancer.
I did.
And you set personal boundaries.
I did.
Which I think is really important to talk about.
Thanks.
Because when you are a leader, you also feel responsible, but you also have to take care of yourself.
I know.
So how did you make that decision? Was it an easy one, a hard one? Tell me about that time.
It was a really hard time, I got to be honest. And now that I'm out of it, I can see it. When I was in it, I couldn't see it. So when I got diagnosed, it was a surprise to me. We just spoke before about that. I have no family history, nothing. I'd never had a bad mammogram. I'm super healthy for the most part. You know, I really don't have vices.
You're fit.
But the stress, I mean, I was under an inordinate amount of stress, because for me, in my role I didn't have a sound operator underneath me. I was in the middle of, making sure the brand came back, making sure I was trying to get everything in line. I was changing our operating systems. I was getting us out of some bad, like warehouse deals, et cetera. So I was busy doing all that stuff and opening new spas and doing a fundraise. It was all happening at the same time. And in the middle of it all, I got diagnosed. And surprisingly, even though it was stage 1 with no spread, I had to go through chemo and radiation. And even though I am a strong person, it just knocks you right out. And I did not have the support at the time, and it was really hard. I'll be honest, it was really, 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 really hard. So I wouldn't do it again. If ever, God forbid, and I'm like anyone out there, if it ever happens to you, hit pause and step out and focus on yourself. Again, I did not do that, and it was not good for me. So come, I would say, October, November, my treatment finished in June. So I was going through it all. And then when your treatment finishes, you are literally on the ground. You just are. No matter how strong you are on the ground, and you're busy trying to be like, I can do it. I know I've got all this responsibility. I can't let them down. I'm in the middle of this system switch. I'm in the middle of this warehouse switch. I'm in the middle of blah, blah, all this stuff. I've got spas that were opening. And then whatever. It was rough. In October/November, I was like, you know what? I can't do it anymore. I need to go sleep. I'm gonna crash and burn. And I just said to my friend who brought me in, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna go sleep for 3 months and see if I can feel better. And that's when we brought in this wonderful COO.
Jason.
Yep. You know Jason.
I know Jason.
He's great. He's so good. Oh my God, thank God for Jason. And it is a total game changer, but now it's right. Now it's right. And also, so what I did was I slept. So he came in officially in November or January. He was there in November, and whatever the official date is, I have no idea, but all I can tell you is I slept. I slept every day. I slept in the morning. I didn't force myself to go to the gym. Even when I was going through treatment, I got up every morning and I went downstairs to the gym just to walk, just to make sure I was alive, and just to make sure I could function during the day, just to make sure. And then the minute I threw in, I was like, I give. I didn't. I was like, I'm sleeping, and I would sleep until 8 o'clock, which is, I was up every morning at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Which is slowly coming back. But it takes time. And that's what I'm saying to people, too, to recognize and allow when you go through something, whether it's cancer treatment, which is an extreme, but it could be another kind of illness. It could be a loss. It could be a divorce. All these things that impact us that are real, and because we're busy working, people who are responsible, we think, I can handle it. But you really can't, and it takes a toll. So, that to me was one of the really great moments. And when I was talking to Gary about it, he was like, well, you want to leave? I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I want to leave. But so we worked it out in a way that made the most sense for everybody. It made the most sense for the company because I love it so much, and I do see, I see it. I know it. I see it. And it needs to grow and be alive. It does, because it's worthy. And so we worked out this, which is wonderful. It makes sense for the brand, first and foremost. It makes sense for the brand. And,
and it makes sense for you, too.
Well, yeah. I've been able to get better. And I'll tell you something. Like I said, you don't know it when you're in it. You don't see it when you're in it. It's taken a long time for me to feel good again. And I didn't feel like myself literally until maybe this summer, end of this summer, which is a year. If my treatment ended in June, it was like a full year to feel like myself again. And it's even just coming back. My hair is starting to come back, and I can look at myself now and be like, oh right, I remember
there
you.
She is.
I remember you. Yeah. Better though, like a better version of me, because when you are confronted with something like this, it's like, oh wow, wait a minute. There's an end game here. You don't think about it. You're busy. You have 2 young children. Mm-hmm. You are building a business. You are moving all the time. You are thinking, you are planning. That's me too. That's the way I was. Mm-hmm. Now I'm very conscious. I'm unbelievably conscious of the humanity, the humanness of all of us. So, back to your question of boundaries is, I have them. Like, I don't answer my phone. I don't answer my phone except for my kids, never. And because I will take dialogue when I'm ready for it. Mm-hmm. I don't do inbound energy just because I need to protect my energy at all costs.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Like, you feel it. We all feel it, right? Mm-hmm. You feel energy depletion, don't you?
Well, and it's really hard when you're going through something personally.
Yeah.
You're a business leader,
yes.
So you have employees who have needs.
I know.
You have vendors or investors. Everyone's trying to grab energy from you.
Yes.
And you have your own thing going on.
Yes.
And it's hard to then have empathy for what others are going through because you have this mountain right in front of you.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, when you were going through that, were you transparent with the team?
Yes, totally.
Or did you? Okay.
Oh,
because sometimes people keep that to themselves, or they postpone sharing it. You were transparent from the start.
From day one. I was in Florida opening the Colony Hotel where we have a spa-let, little beautiful spa room. It's gorgeous. And I had found out the day before when I was in Chicago with one of our spa partners, Kohler, who's one of our greatest spa partners. And I was with a bunch of influencers and our head of marketing and my dear partner who runs the spas there, who also had, she and I were diagnosed at the same time. We didn't know it. We hadn't shared that with each other, but until shortly thereafter. So I went to the Colony, had this huge opening party, knowing that the next day I was flying back to meet with our partner at Mount Sinai, because I had, prior to this, had created a partnership with Mount Sinai Hospital where our trained, certified massage therapists were doing massage treatments in the chemo rooms.
Oh, wow.
Right? And the head surgeon brought us in, so I texted her from the Colony, and I was like, Elisa, we got a plot twist here. Like, I got to come see you. And she was like, you come see me tomorrow. I will, get you on my table before Thanksgiving. And and she did. And it was amazing. And then when I found out I needed to go through chemo, the first day in the chemo room, one of the therapists came in and gave me a massage. I was like, well, this is beautiful. I literally started crying. But anyhow, that day I was with our head of spa, Cassie Pale, who I love, and who has been my partner in building all of our spas. She's phenomenal. And I told her, she was the first person I told. And we talked about that recently. She's like, remember that? And I was like, yeah, I remember that. And I told everybody. And I was like, guys, I'm going through chemo, so I will be on Zoom.
Right.
I will be on Zoom. So I kept all my meetings and, had transitioned out my financial team into an outsourced finance group. Mm-hmm. So that was all happening at that time too. So it was like, you can imagine. Yeah. It was like everything happening at the same time. So no, I kept all my meetings, and then they saw me become bald, and they saw me with no eyelashes and no eyebrows, and everybody was wonderful. Mm-hmm. They were wonderful.
But isn't it amazing, though, when you're a working professional, when life hits you hard, it feels like an inconvenience.
It does.
You're like, why is this happening? Like, I have this, and this to do. It's
twisted, right?
It's twisted when the reality is that life moment, that traumatic event needs to be number one.
It does, doesn't it?
And it's hard, I think, when you are an ambitious professional to even recognize that. Like you said, you really don't know when you're in the moment.
No, you don't know. And also we, as I'm just going to focus on the women, as driven women who are self-supporting and self-sufficient, which I am. You know, I've always been that way. I'm responsible for myself. Like I literally. So I
and
have
your children.
And my children, of course.
Yeah.
So that's always been on my mind. Like I'm a breadwinner. So that is when you are that of that mind, that's what you're thinking about. You know, you're operating in that way, that I am, you know, this is what I got to do, and I'm doing it for my family and myself, and it's what I do. It felt almost like a luxury to be able to say, oh, I'm going to take a nap right now, or I'm going to, you know, say to my, you know, my bosses, guys, I gotta like stop here for a minute. I could use like, I mean, they knew what was going on, but like, you know, it was rough, man. And to your point, I think, yes, we do need to incorporate the thinking of how am I doing in it, and that I think is in large part what motivated me to finally bring the Wellspace for Women to life, because as women inherently we just don't do that. And if we can, in little bite-sized ways, I'm not suggesting to do a sea change because you really can't, but if you can do little things that help you stay or become more aware of your own self, you know, again, not in a woo-woo way, like I'm going to feel my chakra right now, even though they're real and it's energy,
moon dust.
right? Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go get a snail facial, but, you know, but I am going to learn how to, during my very crazy busy day, incorporate breath work into it. That is data-driven, by the way. It's data-driven. It's fact. So you can see how breath work helps calm the nervous system, which then also calms your mind, which helps you make better, more thoughtful decisions, which as business people, leaders, parents, partners, we all want to do. That's what we want to be able to do that, and do that with our own tools, right?
So I want to change gears just a little bit, but it's on the theme of when you are a leader and you have to set boundaries and maybe you step away, you have to make sure you have the right team in place.
Yeah.
And as a business leader who's hired a lot of individuals and maybe had to part ways with some individuals, I'd love to hear from you how you build a team, how you even vet people in the interview process, because I think this is something every business leader struggles with, which is even if someone has great experience and great resume, they may still not be the right person for your business specifically.
Yeah.
So I'd love to learn more about that journey as a business leader from you.
Yeah, that's a great one. And I'm sure you go through it as well, obviously,
Yeah.
as your empire is growing. You know, culture is everything. Culture is everything. Certainly there's the brand, which is the foundation, and then all of the sort of magic that becomes the ethos of the brand growth is the culture. And the culture is made up of the people. And one wrong person can annihilate a culture. Gone is the magic. And magic you can't see. Magic's not on a spreadsheet. Magic, and what that is, it's relationships, and it's how people feel being with each other and around each other. Period, end of sentence. I've built many a culture, and that's where you can see like a brand like, oh, you're like, oh, it's so good, you know? And unfortunately, going back to the money infusion conversation, unfortunately what happens oftentimes, and we can go through that line list of companies that has just like fallen off the cliff, is if you get the wrong leadership in, it annihilates the culture. And then people start to leave. And then it's being rebuilt from the perspective of a spreadsheet. And gone is the culture. Yeah. So I am a big believer in certainly first and foremost hiring for a role. When I went to business school, I was very fortunate to sit with Warren Buffett. We had this handful of us. It was not a lot of us. It was really great. Wow. And he was just talking about, you know, him. This was years ago, 24 years ago maybe? And he just was talking about his philosophy. And he said something called the circle of competence. And he said, know what you do well. Know who you are, know what you do well, and then hire great people around you who do what they do well. And then that creates something great. So I took a little white index card and I wrote competence in the middle, and I put a circle around it. And when I got back to Estee Lauder, I put it on my desk, and it sat there. And I just carried it around with me. Everywhere I went from there, it like sat on my desk. And it was just a reminder of like, hire great people. So, but you also, when you're in a company, depending on money, you hire what you can given
afford
what you can afford.
Yeah.
So, that's also real, right? I mean, bottom line.
My early years, I had to hire very young talent.
Yes.
And it was brute force.
Yep.
Really for the first, I feel like 7 years
Right.
of my business.
And thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that people who come in, who might have different backgrounds, come in with the financial world, hire someone, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that is not possible for me.
I can't
I can't afford that.
$300,000-$400,000.
Are you kidding?
No.
Marketing person or even ops, no, it's not possible. Anyhow, okay, if we're going to shift that paradigm, then let's have more money, and then we'll turn it into something
Right.
completely different. But you hire what you can. So for me, I'm a big believer in attitude and energy and skill set you can teach. People can learn things like how to get onto an operating system. People can learn, unless they're like a finance person, they need to know that. But other people can learn stuff. So I believe in hiring for energy and attitude, willingness to work, willingness to roll up their sleeves, willingness to do, willingness to get it done. Ability to partner, ability to get along, that is huge. And the way you vet that, certainly, first and foremost, you look at somebody's skill set.
Yeah.
Where have they been? How long? Do they jump around? I'm not a fan of jumpers. I don't like jumpers. I think you need to be somewhere because you have to ride out the waves. And 2 years is not enough. 2 years is when people are like, this is not working. On both sides. That to me that's a flag. So I'm not into that. And then I talk to people. So I talk to a lot of people around that person.
The back channel
Correct.
reference checks.
Back channel checks.
Yeah.
Back channel checks. Always.
I've learned to do that.
Yeah. It's not about who are the references. It's like, do you know so-and-so? Tell me about him or her.
The beauty of LinkedIn.
I know. Love it. Right? Yeah. You got to do it. And then you get a sense. And the reality is you never know. And then they get in and then they start and you know what? It might not work. And if it doesn't work, figure it out fast and move on. When
you say fast, how do you define fast?
So I hired somebody when I first started at Naturopathica in a role. I knew her. I'd worked with her before. And I hired her and she came in. She's lovely, great person. It wasn't a fit. And I knew pretty quickly, like within a couple of months, that I wasn't getting what I needed from her.
Were you stressed about making that decision?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't, because I needed to run a company. I was sorry that it happened. I was sorry that it didn't work out. I was not stressed because my job is to run the business. My job is to build the company. And it literally wasn't working, so that's not like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's not what that is, especially when you get to the point where you're running a business.
Right.
That's not cold. That's just like, okay, let's talk here. We see that this isn't a fit. Let's figure it out. It wasn't like you're out in 2 weeks. It wasn't like that. I was like, I'm going to help you. I will help you find something else. I will be a reference for you, But this isn't working. The company needs something different, and that's not your skill set. So let's make a change. So I'm definitely a believer in identify and move. Big time. Like why would you wait? Because that
makes it worse.
Makes it worse for everybody, and it affects the culture. Because what it does is it allows something that is not a fit to be there, and then when that happens, this happens. The chatter of like, what are people saying? What, you don't, and when you've got passion and you've got an energy and you've got a culture where everybody's on it and feeling it and moving it, there's that kind of stuff just doesn't happen. The chatter, people are like, I'm psyched. Let's get up. Let's go. We're doing this. So I'm a huge believer in attitude, and then teach, but also if you sense that something isn't working and you still believe that the person who is in that role can do it and can learn, teach them. Give them some external skills. Send them to a class, get them a tutor, get them a coach.
Yeah.
You know, I recommended a coach recently for somebody. I was like, there needs some coaching. There needs to be some coaching here. That needs to happen. There's so much great stuff. There needs some coaching.
Yeah.
And you know what? Do it. You know, and then see what you've got. See if the person is able to adapt. See if the person is able to grow. And if they can't, then make the change and move on, because there are a lot of great people out there, and you are in charge of your beautiful culture. You are in charge. You're in charge of the bottom line, and you're in charge of the culture, and they have to marry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hiring is challenging.
Yep.
And when you go through the process, what are you must have incorporated into the interviewing process?
How do you mean?
Well, like, do you do projects? Do you require in-person
Definitely in
interviews?
person. Definitely in person. Definitely in person.
Do you how do you test energy and attitude in an interview? Because everyone brings their best, right?
They bring their best, yeah.
You don't know what their attitude will be like when they have any challenge or feedback.
Yep.
So how do you find those characteristics that you seek?
Yep. I do more than one interview. It's never one. It's, it could be 2, 3, maybe even 4.
With you personally?
Me personally.
Wow.
Then when they're a direct report, when it's somebody who's a direct report, I also have the other team members talk to them in depth. So it wouldn't just be me, so when I'm hiring, I had to bring back in the finance group when all hell broke loose when I was sick, because the one that we outsourced to got sold. It was a disaster. So I had to bring somebody in. Everybody vetted her before we hired her, everybody. And then there were other people that we all talked to. So everybody, and she met them in person. So, it's meeting people in person, I believe, is really important. And again, depending on the role, sure, there could be projects that are worked out. What would you do with this particular situation if it was a marketing, situation? Yeah.
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 And then just to kind of close up our conversation today, what advice do you have specifically for women, but really any growing and aspiring business leader? What do you think is most important for their long-term success in their career, but also in their life?
Their long-term success in their career and their life. It's all hard work. It's all hard work, and nothing just happens. It doesn't. It's really important to plan. It's really important to have a goal. It's really, I'm talking about.
And when you talk about a goal, there's different philosophies, right? Do you have the big, hairy, audacious goal, the BHAG?
I
don't know if you know that concept, but or do you keep it realistic and then you model it out from that to make it more achievable?
Yeah.
What is your philosophy on goal setting?
I think we need first and foremost, you need to understand yourself. You really do. And need to say, listen, I know that this is something I want to do, for example. Okay, I've built now 1, 2, 3, 4 companies of my own. And my first one was Brand Management Group, and it was a brand management agency that I built. And it built into something that I had envisioned and wanted. And I knew for a long time that I wanted to run my own business. I knew it. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew I wanted to do it. And AAM came to life when I had my second child, and I was at Estee Lauder. And when you're in a corporate environment, it's a box. It's boxy. And when you are raising children, you can't live in a box as a woman. It's hard to live in a box because I had people that relied on me and that I needed to tend to.
You had 3:30 pickup.
Thank you. And I need to be flexible.
And corporate goes till 6.
Smoke and mirrors. My kids thought I was there all the time. I was like, that's much. But but it worked out. So anyhow, what I'm saying is you have to know and have a vision of what it is you're thinking about and work towards it. And I think there should be a big, hairy, audacious goal in your mind, because that can be, what it is. Like for me, the Wellspace for Women, to me, what is the vision / niche? The Wellspace for Women, like, is the world, right? That line, like, the Wellspace for Women can be the world. Shouldn't it just be the world is a Wellspace for women, right? Right now it's not. So where I'm starting is my space. I've got a space, and in my space that's real and literal, women can come and you can learn, and we have a community, and it is safe, and you can get what you want, and you are going to get medical and emotional and physical information, tangible, tactile. There are events, there is a place. Okay, that's where we start, right? So there's this, and then there's this. And then this happens every day over time, a little bit over time. I said to you today at noon, I'm doing a meditation practice for a bunch of athletes, junior tennis players. I'm super excited about it. And then I'm doing it again on Friday for a teachers group of women who are us.
Amazing.
They're us, and that's the Wellspace. That's something that we can all take with us. So what do you do with yourself and your life and business is you think about it. Like you can do things alongside of what it is that's paying your bills. You can. So, but do it on the side. I always worked with women in domestic violence situations. Always. I don't know if I told you that. Did I tell you that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's where the Wellspace came from. Wow. So I just volunteered, and I worked for the domestic violence hotline. I worked for a group called One Love. I worked for Sanctuary for Families in New York over years and years. And I thought, like, man, there's a need here for women. That was the Wellspace for women. I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. And then it evolved into more, because there's more of a need than just that. But that is also available. So I got my master's in social work during COVID. And now I can do it, like, literally. I can counsel people because I'm an MSW, So anyhow, I'm just saying, yeah, make it that, and then do things along the way to get there. But every day, I wake up every day, and it's not like I like sit down and write out my goals, but I know what they are, and they scare me.
My goals scare me.
They scare me.
It's uncomfortable.
I am uncomfortable. I have like nausea in my stomach. This was also nervous making for me. Like I've never done meditation for kids, even though I do meditation all the time and I do it for us. So I was like nervous about it. So I reached out to my girl network. I have a bunch of really wonderful friends, and I said, would y'all be willing to let me do this for you and give me feedback?
Practice run.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I know, and they all said yeah. So I had last week on Monday, I did like 4 different sessions with my girlfriends, and they were so great, and they gave me feedback and made it better, because I want these kids to feel good and love it, and be like, I can do that. I can be a better tennis player / I can incorporate box breathing into my school day when I'm freaking out, or I can't sleep because I'm stressed about a test. I'm going to do a meditation. You know what I mean? Like those little things that you and I just talked about, So anyhow, I think you've got to definitely have the big, but also have the littles along the way, because they all add up. They're like pointillist paintings, pointillist paintings.
You have to have passion projects that bring energy to your life.
There you go.
At least I find with myself, if I'm doing the same thing all the time, it gets monotonous, right?
Right.
I need those sparks of newness and challenge and being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And then that bleeds into the things that I do have to do that are routine.
Yeah.
And then you just bring a new energy to it.
Yes, you do. Yes, and it feeds you.
It feeds.
It feeds you, doesn't it? It feeds you. I always thought about that when I was growing up, that I was always fed by people. I was always fed by people. And I remember I got grief from it from an aunt once. She was like, oh, you're always with people. I'm like, no, but they're full of energy. People are like good energy, and you get ideas and have conversations and you learn.
And we're finding more and more the importance of community, village.
Yeah.
And I think we would probably all benefit from recognizing the importance that other people bring to our lives.
Yes, totally. I agree with that. That's great. Yes. Yeah.
Well, Cathy, this was so inspiring.
Thank you.
You are so amazing and impressive.
So
and
are
thank
you
for also sharing your story today. Sure. It was very much appreciated.
Of course.
appreciated, and your wisdom
Thanks.
is very wise. So thank you so much.
Thanks. I feel the same about you, and I really appreciate the conversation.
Awesome.